In September of this year, a quirky RPG was released by indie developer Toby Fox after a successful Kickstarter campaign. An RPG which turned the gaming community on its head and endeared itself to hardcore and casual fans alike. This game, of course, is Undertale. Now, Undertale...
Undertale released in September 2015 to little fanfare, yet by mid-October it was everywhere, and I mean everywhere. It was on Tumblr, it was on Reddit, it was on Funny Junk, it was in your house, it was standing outside your shower. I mean, it was everywhere! But what was it exactly that made it so popular? It wasn't its technicals, that much is for sure. You have to look at your perpetually jaundiced character the entire way through, and the game controls like the Titanic when it's approaching an iceberg. That is to say, it's heavy, but at the same time you have no real weight to your character and you're just kind of floating across the screen. As far as story goes, I'm not going to divulge too much. I mean, this is something you should go into completely spoiler-free. But anyways, young Frisk is off on her way to her dialysis treatment. Yes, I know Frisk is meant to be ambiguously gendered, but she's a girl to me, damn it! Before young Frisk can go in for a treatment, she winds up tumbling down a well, and Lassie isn't there to save her, so she falls into the world of monsters. You are tasked with fulfilling a prophecy and bringing order to the underground, culminating in a final meeting with a beloved but misguided king. The story seems standard enough, so what exactly was it that had 200,000 copies fly off the virtual shelves in its first month available? That much belongs to its unique mechanics and wonderful characterization. But this game, like none other I've ever had in my experience playing video games, hooks you into its world. It isn't even that it's very immersive, it just has this wonderful charm that can be hard to explain. When you're in a character's favor, you want it to stay that way. But if you're out of their favor, you're gonna do whatever you can to win them over. Now, in what I admit to be probably the most depressing line I've ever scripted, it is the best friendship simulator on the market. Everybody in the game exudes wit, charisma, charm, and several other superlatives I can't even think of. Every character in this game is lovable, relatable, flawed, and yet, oh, so perfect. In this game's short lifespan, I mean it only lasts about 8 hours, and that's even if you take your time, you grow to adore almost every main character, and each of them are memorable. My personal favorite is Papyrus, whose arrogant and ridiculous demeanor failed to fully hide his loneliness, and I believe he was the most fully realized character in the game. But lest you think that this is a traditionally fun game, oh no, this game will cut you to the bone. There is a sense of foreboding despair that is matched only by Majora's Mask in sheer sorrow. It reminds you that the characters you love, even the people you love, they're fragile. And most likely you're the one that's to blame. The entire game, it tells you that this world is being thrown haywire, and you, the player, are the one causing the pain. It takes an emotional toll that simply isn't for the faint of heart. And to think we haven't even touched upon this game's most defining feature, its mechanics. What single-handedly defines this game from traditional RPGs is that all combat can be avoided in favor of a non-violent approach. You are encouraged to find ways to calm down your opponent without attacking, and much of this incorporation is simply hilarious. After all, in what other game can you get close to an anime-inspired tsundere plane? But not too close. The way you combat monsters directly affects your storyline. If you kill every monster, you will trigger the vicious genocide mode. But if you kill absolutely nothing, you'll be playing the pacifist mode, and you may unlock the true ending. Like Shadow the Hedgehog many years before it, this game can have several different endings. Except in this game, they're actually good. Either genocidal, pacifist, or neutral endings. However, I suggest playing peacefully first so you can really establish these characters, and then follow it up with a genocide run to get out the full emotional impact. This game encourages multiple playthroughs, and it is certainly worth giving 2 or 3 plays due to all of its secrets and short playtime. Now, in addition to having a karma system that actually works, this game's combat is also interesting. Like most turn-based RPGs, you have the option to attack, try to find a solution, use an item, or flee battle, but the twist comes in the opponent's attack cycle. Rather than simply use an attack with power points, each opponent has a bullet hell minigame compose its turn. This is absolutely genius, and I can't stress it enough, and a welcome addition to this Western take on old JRPG tropes. Not only are these minigames fun, but they also help keep the gameplay fresh and intuitive. In many other franchises, this gameplay can become stale and boring, but each enemy is different, and it can take some time to get used to their attack pattern. And just as the sauce on the proverbial spaghetti, the music and sound design are, fantastic! The soundtrack is good enough to hold up for years, and I even went out of my way to buy the soundtrack off of Steam. The sound design is also great, and used very effectively, especially given the game's self-imposed limitations. Every piece, yes I mean every piece, every single one of them, no matter how unimportant, has something to love about it. This game's explanation of each hidden gem can reach from funny, to cute, to witty, to even outright profound. For this reason, the most common comparison to Undertale is the 1995 SNES classic, Earthbound. Earthbound is considered hallowed ground by Nintendo fans, but I'm gonna have to tiptoe around some landmines here, because Earthbound, although it's clearly a heavy influence on developer Toby Fox, the least known game in Smash Bros. Isn't quite a full comparison for Undertale. The bullet hell sections in Undertale have no real precedent in the Western media, but the impact of slain friends gives the game a near cinematic experience that the quirky Mother sequel can't quite match. And don't think I'm dissing Earthbound here by any means, it's a great game, but it's really just a testament to how there's no true comparison to Undertale, because it's blazing new ground. While RPGs like Fallout and The Witcher expand into the open world and test their technical mettle, Undertale is fundamentally challenging the way similar linear games tackle narratives. Beyond its touching storytelling, the beauty of this game is that it can play off anything for a joke. Even despite the stunted visuals, it is able to blend comedy into anything. Comedic writing can only get you so far, but there's a range of visual and auditory gags that, in my opinion, can be even funnier than the dialogue. But because this video needs to end at some time, I think it's about time we wrap this up. This game fails in many ways as a conventional game. The visuals are often bad, even despite some excellent sprite work. Not every joke lands well, and the controls are just downright atrocious. But it is with an incredible narrative power and a stellar soundtrack that this game can win over even old grumpy goos like myself. The characters, they're all instant classics, and you will always bear the weight of your actions as well as the consequences for them. Even though Undertale fails in its gameplay conventions, I think it has proven itself to be unconventional. For the low price of $10 and specs low enough to run on a calculator, anybody who enjoys narrative-driven experiences should consider Undertale a must-buy. Thank you for watching my review of Undertale. Now, I don't have any other reviews to show you guys as this was my first one, but please leave me a comment asking, hey, what are you willing to review? I'll review anything. Anything you guys tell me. Haha. Now, down below are two different playthroughs I've done. I had one episode done for Sonic Movie Maker and all those fun Sonic Dreams Collection games. That's about 45 minutes. The pacing's a little bad, so I won't be too offended if you don't watch it. And then also I have the first video linked for my series over on Audiotech, my friend Sam's channel, where I, along with my buddies Steven and Josh, decide to play Mario Party. So that'll be a fun time. Go ahead and watch that. Give my friend the support. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate the support. Like, comment, subscribe, all that whatever. See ya!